No one could have imagined that this huge wolf dog, whom everyone considered aggressive and unable to live among others, would one day meet someone who would change his life forever.
Jacob. Oh, I love you.
Jacob was rescued from a cruel breeder who left him not only with physical wounds, but also deep emotional scars. These marks made him distrustful, bitter, and afraid of everything. When they brought him to the sanctuary, he was so scared he barely agreed to leave the car. Every human step nearby filled him with fear, and this fear he hid behind growls and wariness. For a long time, he kept his distance, as if knowing he couldn't trust anyone. He avoided even the simplest attempts to connect. Food, games, interaction. All he knew was solitude. He was lonely, not just physically, but emotionally. His trust was lost, and all that remained was to wait. The sanctuary didn't rush him, knowing that given time, Jacob would take a step forward on his own. The only one who managed to break through his wall was Ella, the sanctuary owner's little daughter. She didn't try to force him to approach, just sat nearby, calmly, without fuss. Sometimes she would offer treats, but demanded nothing in return. And so, step by step, Jacob began to show interest. First came timid steps in her direction, then glances, and finally, he started taking food from her hands. The changes were obvious, but the real turning point happened when the sanctuary received a call that changed everything. Jacob had a brother, Warden. He had endured the same horrors, the same fears and pain, only they had been separated. But now, when they met again, everything fell into place. When Warden was brought in, Jacob recognized him immediately. He ran to the fence, began scratching at the ground, and didn't leave all night. The next morning, when the barrier was removed, the brothers finally met. They embraced not just with their paws, but with their hearts. All Jacob felt in that moment was that he was no longer alone. Even if they hadn't seen each other for hundreds of years, everything inside screamed that this moment was long awaited.
Jacob, come on, man. I'll step away while you get some, Jacob.
From this moment on, everything changed. Jacob, feeling support nearby for the first time, began to trust people, became part of the pack, started playing with other wolf dogs. He learned to live again and to believe. Sometimes, to heal, you need more than just surviving the pain. You need to find someone who reminds you that there's still room for hope in the world, and that love can restore even forgotten trust.